Hello everyone, I've been diving deep into the world of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but rather than being able to play the game for myself, I've been collecting information from various YouTube reviews to bring you a balanced overview of what to expect. I've looked at the experiences shared by channels like Neon Knight, ESO, SkillUp, and the Angry Joe Show to give you a sense of the game, drawing on their time spent exploring the world and its systems. This is a summary of all their experiences. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is shaping up to be something special. This isn't just a sequel. It feels like the game Warhorse always wanted to make. If you enjoyed the first game, you're going to love this. And even if you found the first game a bit clunky, they improved everything in the game. The game kicks off with an amazing intro, which fills you in on the story, gets you straight into the action. You don't need to have played the first game to understand what's happening, as there is a very well integrated summary that is part of the gameplay, not just a cutscene. The combat is more fluid, the world feels more alive, and even the UI has had an overhaul. As Neon Knight mentioned, the combat system has been significantly improved. Different weapons feel very different. A longsword fight feels thoughtful, while using an axe or a mace makes you feel like a brute in a good way. This really helps to vary the combat experience. After the intro, a kind old lady takes you in and teaches you alchemy, which is a blast. You can literally brew up potions, and this is also a good way to make some early coin. Then you head to the nearby town, and that's where things really open up and you get to do what you want. The world is vast and very detailed, and there is plenty to explore. At SkillUp Notes, it's easy to get sidetracked. There's always something new to discover, and your curiosity is rewarded. Going from A to B is almost impossible. Once you get out the initial stocks section, head straight to the woman who will tell you where important locations are. If you want a more combat focused playthrough, go to see Tomcat. He's a master swordsman and can teach you new combat abilities. Also, you need to find some clothes, as no one will want to talk to you without them. The game has some light survival elements, so eating, drinking and sleeping are all required. The map is like a beautiful old paper map. You can see the places, the ponds and the buildings marked there. There's also random things that will happen as you explore. For example, you may find a messenger has lost a letter. You can also find fresh graves as well. There are also ways to dry herbs which will preserve them but reduce their potency. SkillUp also comments that clothing and armor choices really matter, as they impact how people will interact with you. The first thing you should really try to do is to get a horse. That way you can get around the world much quicker. You need to follow roads and look out for birds, as this can highlight points of interest. Along the way you can see lots of different herbs that you can collect, like nettles, which can be used in different recipes. Now if you decide to head towards the stables to try and get your horse back Pebbles, it was highlighted how you can take different approaches in the game, as each YouTuber had a different approach. For example, Angry Joe tried to persuade the stable owner to give him back Pebbles. To do this, you'll have to increase your charisma by equipping the right clothes before you talk to him. If you failed the first time when trying to do this, you will have to reload an old save, repair some of your gear and increase your charisma, and reallocate your perk points specifically for speech. If you decide to go ahead and steal Pebbles back, as you cannot afford to buy him, Angry Joe noted, Pebbles won't respond to your whistle, so you'll need to get this sorted eventually. After that, he was really focused on getting to the wedding by doing the miller's quests. This is when he first met the miller and had to carry a load of sacks for him. After that, he told Henry he had to get some documents and that he would meet his apprentice for some pickpocket training. ESO also commented that the crime system has been massively overhauled. You'll find there's a lot of different choices to be made along the way, and there are consequences for your actions. You'll also find yourself making friends and getting into trouble, like when you choose to help the gravedigger with some dirty business. You can also choose to go down other paths. The blacksmithing path, for example, is much more combat orientated. As ESO noted, the blacksmithing minigame is surprisingly addictive, and you can visibly see how the metal is transforming while you're hammering it. So there's tons of content here that you'll likely miss unless you replay and explore differently. It is very immersive, realistic, and an authentic experience. This game just does not hold your hand, and I really like the sound of that. I really do think that if you like a more immersive RPG, then this is going to be the game for you. As SkillUp said, this is absolutely the most in-depth and interesting character build he has ever done in an RPG. This is Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 on steroids, the way it was meant to be. I've linked their videos in the description in case you feel like checking them out. If you like the video, then please give me a like and subscribe.